That's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
Jesus, that wasn't all right there. What's that? We'll have that again, shall we?
That's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
I tell you what, I've made a Rumble account. Rumble, link in the description. I can only stream live there when I've got 50 subs. So I haven't checked since I asked on Telegram and Twitter and all that. But soon I'll be streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. And to be honest with you, I think Rumble's the one I'm going to really try and work on. I might do some Rumble exclusives, because if I can build a Rumble channel up that's as successful as YouTube, you know, it's all very well us moaning about these platforms and all that, but unless we do our best to get the other platforms working, you know, so that's a little project. No one really has to do anything. Just go follow me subscribe to me on Rumble, link in the description to this video. But don't do it now, do it later, much later. Now, I am still sick. My hair needs a cut. I mean, look at the state of it. I can't believe I've got to be in public with that stuck on my head. Look at the size of the beard. There's probably some eggs in there or something. And I don't mean spermatoza. They're not eggs, are they? They're the opposite. There will be the occasional like that. So I got the Coof. I made a Dragon's Den video today. So if you haven't seen that, check that out later. It's a very good one, actually. The product is awful and terrifying, but I noticed in a couple of the videos I made, like in the woes when I was on Millennial, which went really well, I think. Thank you, all the scrubs who turned up. It's always lovely when scrubs are on tour. Relaxes me, because I know that there's at least some people that will be enjoying it. But the numbers are great, the amount of comments are great. But I've noticed a few people saying, I remember Dangerfield, he used to stream. I got coofed off. I've been sick for about, 2.5 weeks? And I'm only now just about able to do anything. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the worst thing about the Coof was the headache. Well, the worst thing about the Coof was thinking, I've literally got an experimental bioweapon running around my body that was allegedly and almost certainly spread by vaccinations. That's kind of weird, isn't it? You know, when you're just sick with a normal, like chicken pox, at least you just think you're part of nature's game. But I was suddenly part of culture's gain of function. Done it. Got there in the end, didn't I? Lovely. Here we go. So that was quite unpleasant, but I'm just weak, just void of strength. I've got so many things to say to you all, but, you know, usually if I'm streaming daily or every other day, I can remember what's happened from that day. And of course, so much has happened spread over the last few weeks. I'm going to remember none of it. We'll get into the video proper shortly. You're going to have to excuse those coughs. Now, there is one thing I want to tell you. When we went to Siem Reap, me and my girlfriend and my girlfriend's mum, I took them up to Siem Reap so that her mum could visit Angkor Wat. Her mum's 78 and has never seen Angkor, which is the most significant Buddhist site for Cambodians. It's, you know, it's their number one spiritual bingo. So she was incredible. And when I first took my girlfriend, it was amazing at certain parts, where there were certain statues or certain engravings, my missus would get down and, like, they sit in a particular way. You're not allowed to sit with your legs crossed. It's quite a strange one, actually. I have trouble doing it when I've been out to the Buddhist temples in the province. You have to sort of sit with both your legs to the side. I find it quite uncomfortable. But she'd be doing that, and my girlfriend, when I first took her, she'd done it 2 or 3 times, and it was remarkable to see a young lady having that much value in something spiritual. You know, she wasn't doing it because it was Christmas or because it was Easter. She was doing it because she's a Buddhist and she believes in the teachings of Buddha, and she believes in giving praise and respect to Buddhism. But her mum was like, you know, because she'd never been there. Think about what her mum's been through, right? The life she's had. I mean, she had to sell a child, one of her kids. She had to sell when she was like 2 years old because she couldn't afford to feed the other 5 when the father was killed. She lived through all that Pol Pot lark, you know, saw 2/3 of the country tortured, starved, murdered, raped. You know, there are a lot of very there are a lot of very bad things that happen on this planet, but Cambodia kind of gets neglected in many ways. I mean, people have seen the killing fields, but when you actually look into what happened here, it was hell on earth. It was absolute hell on earth. And so she's lived through all that, you know. Like they just turned up in Phnom Penh, the capital, which was a bustling, busy capital. They rolled in the tanks, and they were welcomed with cheers and flags. And then when they thought, oh well, we're free from the Vietnamese, and we're free from these people, and I've got to be a little bit careful what I say about the history of it all. But essentially, when the Khmer Rouge rolled into town, everyone was like, oh, wicked, we're saved, we're independent. And then the Khmer Rouge went, right, stick what you can in a bag, it's time to go. We don't live in cities. They're stained by capitalism. And they marched everyone out into the countryside and turned everyone into farmers. Put the year back to 0, had children torturing and killing intellectuals by the million. Yeah, it was. So she's been through all that. You know, she's lived on the streets with 4 young girls on the streets, all out collecting empty plastic bottles for recycling. You know, a crazy life. And to see her there at Angkor Wat, it was very, very touching. But like there was this Buddha, and it had its head taken off. A lot of the time with sort of religious sites, because of invaders or what have you, heads of idols are often removed, and there's this Buddha with the hands and all that doing the pose, but with no head. And she was straight down in front of it, and she was sort of, and I said to my girlfriend, "What is she saying? Is it like scripted? Is it like a prayer?" And she was like, "No, she's asking that me and you have good health and prosperity, and that we're safe." Really beautiful, really beautiful. And religion, especially the European tradition of religion, is beautiful. Look at the cathedrals, look at the abbeys, look at the symbology, look at the stained glass. And it's much. I mean, I think the Hindu religion is up there for absolutely beautiful. I mean, some of the Hindu imagery is incredible. Yes, it's a bit trippy, which is probably why I'm biased. But to actually, there's a different level of beauty and a more profound kind of human beauty to see someone engaging with it on that kind of spiritual level. That's more beautiful than all the carved stones and all the stained glass windows and all the Shiva and Vishnu. Just a human sitting down and asking for health and prosperity for her daughter and fiance. It was, very special. And thank you for the donations that are coming. I will deal with them. I've got a theme for this stream. It's favourite films or favourite clips from films. It was hard to get that in a message. I'll prioritise Super Chats and Entropies. Super Chat is at the bottom of the thing. Entropy is linked at the top of the chat. But I will also do a load from the normal chat. And what I'll do is, your favourite film might just be Jaws. So I'll go and grab a bit from Jaws and we'll show it. You might say my favourite film is so-and-so, and it's the clip when so-and-so happens. And if I can find that, I'll show that bit. So that's what this stream is. I'm too knackered for too much chat. I can't do a calling because I'll just switch off when Packer's talking to me about nothing. Lovely to see you all. Apologies for the time off. If you just got here, I've been coofed off. I thought I'd do well not clashing with one of Wose's millennial because they start a bit later, but I think I'm probably clashing with the football. Now, I can't imagine too many scrubs are into their World Cup football, but it is an excuse to go down the boozer for a lot of people. So, I'll tell you something else about Anchor. When you go there, you have to go to the ticket office first, obviously, and you have to buy, like, if you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt, they ain't having it. You're not walking around one of their most religious sites with your tits out. So there's shops there, and they're very reasonable. For a start, we all bought a hat. Where's my hat? This will give you a tickle. Now remember, this is an emergency hat. I didn't go out one day and think I'll buy a hat. But we realised we'd rocked up to the ticket office at about 11:30 in the morning. Now Anchor is massive. Anchor is just one temple, and there's loads of them. But what people do is tend to see the 3 or 4 main ones. But you're still walking around with the midday sun averaging about 34, 35 degrees on the middle of your bonds. And I already had headache because I already had the Coof. So they sell hats and they sell crameurs like I wear for women and that to cover their shoulders and all that. So this was the hat I got. Now, I think they're a little bit cool because the parkour guys wear them, don't they? I mean, have I become an Englishman abroad? Look at it. I mean, it's god awful, isn't it? I'll tell you what, though, I was very, very happy for having the strap done up a little bit. What do we think? Crush the top or a little bit less crushage? It's got these 2 pop stars. But it's got so be thinking of your favourite movies or your favourite clips, and I can play a trailer or I can play a little bit, and we can have a little chat about them. There you go. That's a bit more your Crocodile Dundee. G'day, mate. I think I saw Dawn Browning in the chat there. Just want to talk to you about some movies. What's going on? Unfortunately, it was a little bit Rolf Harris. Oh, look what it's done to my Barnet Fair. Right. Now, listen to this. So we go to the ticket office and it says a day pass, because some people, they want to see it all, and that's going to take you at least 2 days, all day. A day pass is $37. Bearing in mind, an average month's wages out in Cambodia is about $200. $37 is a lot of money. Obviously, I was going to pay. I didn't expect them to pay. It was my treat because it was my girlfriend's birthday. And she wanted, I said to her, whatever you want. I said, I'll take you to Thailand if you want. She still hasn't been on an aeroplane. And bless her, she said, will you take my mum to Angkor Wat? And so I thought I'd get us a really nice hotel, and we got the hotels up. First thing she asks, how much? How much? And I'm like, well, this one's so-and-so. And she just wouldn't do it. We ended up for 3 nights. So we got there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and left Monday. For 3 nights, 2 rooms, a double bed in each room. I think I paid less than $300. Crazy money, like next to nothing. And it was a 4-star hotel as well. You know, after the flight, Cambodia is a very cheap holiday. Anyway, now we queue up, and they take a photo of you. If you're going to go onto that site, they take a photo of you. It's all, and your photo's on your ticket as well. They don't want people selling those tickets on and all this love. And I said, yeah, just the 3 of us, please. And the woman behind the jump said, Khmer people don't pay. And I was so proud and impressed, because of course they shouldn't. Of course I should pay. And of course I should pay more, because chances are I come from a richer country, because Cambodia is very poor. And it just made me think about places in Europe where it's quite the opposite, where you go somewhere like, I don't know, Windsor Castle or whatever, and you have to pay, and then it's like people on welfare, people on the dole don't have to pay. And you're like, hang on a minute, I work hard, I'm losing money by not working to come and see it, and I'm paying, and yet you're giving it to free for people who don't work. It's all that, you know. Now, I understand there are some people who can't work, but trust me, as someone who lived amongst and was a welfare blagger myself, it's such an easy blag, the dole. It's so easy. It is, you know, I know people who are earning, that's the language, who are earning sort of like 2-3 grand a month off of benefits. Easy. And it's easy to do. And of course that system will be abused. And here's the kicker. It would be so easy to stop it from being taken advantage of. Like, I remember once I got a Med 5, which is written off for life because I was a junkie. Now that ain't right, is it? And I had it framed on my wall. Mr. Dangerfield is exempt from work, reason, and then handwritten it said opiate dependence. Well, hang on. So I chose to take heroin. By the way, that doesn't mean you can't run a business. I set my business up using heroin. But because of liberal and leftist bullshit and mental health nonsense, suddenly, no, he can't work. People who work hard, he gets a bit of their money so he can sit at home listening to music, smoking weed. That's not right. It's not right. And I'm not proud of what I've done. I've apologised enough times. And if you mean it, you've only got to apologise once. But it's a fucking scandal. It's scandalous. Why wouldn't millions of people from other countries try to do their best to get into that country? Not only are they going to, once if you can get halfway across the water, they'll pick you up. But then while you're waiting for a house, they'll chuck you in a hotel, and if the food's not good enough, you can just complain and say that they're racist, and you can get some better quality fucking veal. Why wouldn't you abuse it? It's shocking. I was really impressed that they didn't get charged at all, as they shouldn't. I'm a second-class citizen out here, and it is how it should be. Of course it is. It's not my country. I do absolutely what I'm told here. It's not my country. It's a privilege to be allowed to live here. And the government have recently changed a load of the immigration laws and things you have to do. And what they're trying to stop backpackers, Because what happens is backpackers come here, they're happy to work in bars for next to nothing, just because it's a cheap holiday. You know, you can eat for a day for $3, and you can eat pretty well. You can get whole chicken and a bag of cooked rice for $5. You know, if you've got a fridge, that'll last you 2 or 3 days. You know, and so what they're trying to stop is backpackers who come here. They don't pay any taxes for the roads, for the street lighting, for the infrastructure, for everything that the country pays for, and yet they take jobs that the local Cambodians would do because they can speak English, because obviously they're not Cambodian. And they're trying to put a stop to that. And I was on a forum and people going, I think it's ridiculous. You know, why should they stop me? Go blah 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 blah. Well, because you don't contribute, you just take. I mean, where this mindset of entitlement that you should just get stuff for free, it's shocking. It's shocking. I mean, if you want to do that, you're essentially a blagger. You're a criminal. You're taking the piss. You know, there's 2 types of people in the world. There's people who contribute and there's people who take, and that's the way it is. And if you want to be a taker and not contribute, well, I think you should have to suffer the reality of that you don't get much. You know, you don't get much. Oh, there you go. Went down a road there, didn't I? Right, let me just check over there on my entropy. Hang on, what's going on here? Bosh, bing, bash, bosh. Okay, it would appear. Is Mrs. Me in it here? I wish to speak to Mrs. Me in it. If Lindsay's here, Lindsay, I passed your message on to Mrs. Me in it. Right, let's right, if I've missed your donation, always tell me. I'll get some hellos in while I'm doing it as well. Hello, Hans. Good to see you. Hello, Lumi. He's going to go down the boozer watching the football. Look at him making excuses. I'm only going for the alcohol, not the actual football. You'll be enjoying it. Go on, allow yourself. Hello, Barrett. Barrett, you were one of the people who said in one of the messages, "Oh, sorry, mate, I haven't been able to catch your streams lately." There haven't been any. Vart. Hello, JP. Nice to see you. Okay. Hello, Dennis. How are you? Wicked and Junglist Massive 103.4 Eruption FM. Me and MC Anarchy sitting down, smoking Charlie. Hello, George Orwell, Emma G, John B. John B sub to me. I've got a Rumble channel, people. Link in the description. As soon as I get 50 subscribers or more, I can start streaming on Rumble as well, and I'll do some Rumble exclusives because I think we should support these alternative platforms. Hello, Mr. Wu. Nice to see you. Chris G. Hang on a minute. What? The Chris G who walks around the Peak and Lake District? It is you, isn't it? Hello, mate. Hope you're well. It was lovely talking to you the other night a couple of times. This geezer here, we used to go to NA meetings together. Not together, but I'd catch up with him there. And he was sitting in front of me once. And I can't remember what someone said. Someone said something and I just went, I laughed. I laughed because you shouldn't have. And I saw his shoulders going. And I thought he can't keep it in. And I started just poking him in the back, and he had to leave. He walked out doing the old head down sort of thing. 5 minutes later, come back in, and I just was going, you really quietly going, you still laughing? And again, I see his shoulders going. He got up and left again. Too funny. Good to see you, Chris. Ugly Truth is on the firm. Colonel Custard, plot losers in. Nice to see you. Thank you. It was, I'm feeling better. Every day I'm feeling better. But the problem with it is you wake up and you think it's over and then it bounces back. So I'm feeling a bit like that at the moment. Now, I have got a wicked announcement though. I'm going to do a stream next week with a special guest, Dan, the iconoclast. But I'll probably just call him Dan for the video because he is Dan. But Dan's coming on. We're going to have a VT where we respond into clips, talking to Dan. Nice 2.5 hour stream maybe. And that'll be wonderful. What a lovely, it will be great to have the iconoclast on. What a change he made to so many people's lives. What an amazing person that put a lot of work in and entertained us for made big sacrifices, and it'll be lovely to have him on. He's been lifting weights recently, so we'll be talking a bit about that sort of stuff. I'm still off the weights. I'm losing my rippedness because I'm still waiting for my arm to recover. They're still there, I suppose, but it's a real shame not being able to do it. But if anyone in the chat knows anything about time under tension, that's apparently what I should be doing at my age. So instead of throwing the weights around, you do bicep curl, but it takes a minute, 30 seconds to lift it up, 30 seconds to lift them down, and you only do 2 or 3 of those. And that's apparently what I should be doing, because it's not the muscles that can't lift the weights, it's my tendons that can't take the aggro. Thank you, Lumi. You've done a cool bit of advertising, and I tried to help you out with that. Have I said hello, Emma G? Anglo-Saxons on the firm. Old Oak's in. Who else have we got in here? Well, there's loads of people in here now, so I will say hello to you when as I see you. Hello, Moody Edge. Good to see you, mate. Doc Shelley's got 15 big ones. 2-year anniversary off the opioids. Merry Christmas, Danger and Scrubbage. 2 in the chat for Doc Shelley. Remarkable. Remember, people, most people don't get off opiates or opioids. I think an opioid is what's the word I'm looking for? Well, an opiate can be naturally occurring. Like opium is an opiate, whereas opioid is sort of laboratory made, something like tramadol. But I don't think it really matters in this instance. So 2 in the chat for Doc Shelley. Incredible. Nice one for the 15 bond, Doc. That's great stuff. Much appreciated. Anglo-Saxon 10-bit. Hoyt to that. Thank you, Anglo. Absolutely lovely. Hello, Keys to the Kingdom. I see there's a few people already putting 2s in the chat there. They saw it before me. Hello, Mousecat. Hello, Rags. It'd been nice having the occasional chat with Mousecat as well. The Killing Fields is intense, but when you go to the Torn Seng Torture Museum, you realise that the Killing Fields was just the tip of the iceberg. Really, the tip of the iceberg. You couldn't make a movie about what happened here. It would be unwatchable. There you go. Anyway, moving on. Dawn Browning, 50 big Australian ones. Hoita! Snooze lurking. I quite like it. Is it snooze lurking or is it booze lurking? Did you have a cheeky afternoon cognac? Snooze lurking. Merry Christmas and love all you beautiful people. Mwah! Nice one, Dawn. Lovely to see you here, as always, as ever. Thank you for that very generous donation. And to everyone who's donated. Obviously, my YouTubing is part of my budget since they fucked the pound against the dollar. And having 3 weeks off has absolutely Christmas skint me. Speaking of Christmas skinting, I joined Devon Tracy's channel. Now, listen, this is really important. Devon Tracy makes content on censored.tv, which is Gabby McInnes's channel. Now, Devon made an advert about a UFC fight, and I watched the advert, and it's about 30 minutes long, and I was thinking, this is brilliant. You know, I just forgot how good Devon is at making content. And I thought, hang on a minute, I know what he's going to do. He's going to get to the denouement and go, if you want to see the rest of this story, you're going to have to subscribe. So I did. It's only like a tenner a month. And I thought, you know, that's all right. It's such quality content and loads of it. It's not, he doesn't make like one video a month. But when I spoke to him afterwards to compliment him on the video, he said, don't forget, you can just sign up to my Patreon or my Subscribe Star. You still get all the content, but he gets the full tenner. Whereas if you go to censored.tv, Gavin McInnes gets half of it. Now, Gavin McInnes has got a load of money. Now, I didn't know that, and I signed up to censored.tv, but only for a month. And I'm gonna come off of that and go to do it on his Subscribe Star. But on censored.tv, when you sign up, you do get access to all the other channels. But to be honest with you, I watched a few of them, like Soph. Remember Soph? She was kind of funny when she was like 14, and it was weird that there was this based 14-year-old. But that's a bit, you know, that joke has flown sort of thing. And I just thought I'd rather be giving Devon my tenner. But honestly, people, that video he made about the UFC fight and the whole story, the way he tells the story, I was swearing at him. I was going, Devon, you. I thought if you're, you know, because he teases you about what's going to happen and all this. And no, it was amazing, incredible content making. So I really recommend. You know, I've just been binging Devon's content and remembering what it was like when he was making videos on YouTube. And for a tenner a month, that's a great investment. So there you go. I will show some of his content on these channels when I've got a bit more time and I'm feeling a bit better. I'll show little clips so you can get an idea of what he's doing, because it's very, very good. Thank you, Dawn. Hello, Keys to the Kingdom. Nice to see thee. Right, I think I have done me. Hello, Snoopy. Good to see thee. Mr. Custard, did I say hello to you? Steve, my boy Steve's calling me a Coofy slattern. I don't know. What did I do? Did I do it wrong? What? I don't know what's going on. I'm a bit coofed. Hello, Otto. Good to see thee. It certainly does, Doc Shelley, and it takes a while to get over as well, doesn't it? My man Mousecat has dropped in $17.99. Thank you for that, Mousecat. Hoita! Mrs. Meanit's favourite film is With Nell and I, and she likes the Hamlet soliloquy at the end. She loves the old film, though. Now, I doubt I'll be able to play the whole soliloquy. And don't forget, people, if I do get yeeted, just sit tight, 4 minutes, 3.5, 4 minutes, the stream starts again. That's why I'm making my Rumble account. So there you go. Packers joined again. He's on the firm. Nice one, Picard. I'll just grab hold of that. I've got a little film I want to talk to you about, show you a little bit of. I just want to show. There you go. Nice one, Picard. A pleasure. Nice to have you on the firm. We'll be doing some member streams. Certainly will. Hello, October. Good to see you. Hello, Al. Al, there was something I wanted to ask you. So there was a musical question I wanted to ask you. Hello, Charlie. Hello, John. Hello, Ludwig. Max says a migrant boat collapsed. Well, I don't You know, I don't think people should die, but if you're going to try and cross one of the most dangerous waterways in the world in a dinghy, you know, it's a fucking stupid thing to do. Why would you put your life in the hands of people traffickers? Or maybe because the English government colludes with them. I don't know. Stupid. Hello, Mr. Corona. Nice to see thee. Hello, Arklow. Oh, there you go. Arklow's talking about the same thing. RP, hello, son. How are you? It's lovely to see all you people again. You know, you only take a couple of weeks off, and the distance feels vast. Hello, Winston. Hello, Pags. No, it absolutely is, and that's what it feels like. JC, hello, mate. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, it's nice, man. We had a nice, you know, when I go on Millennial, it's just like a couple of blokes chatting. But he's had me on 5 times now, so there's obviously something there. The numbers are great already, and the comments are great, so very happy with all that. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. Right. Anyway. If I haven't said hello to you, I certainly will at some point. No, they are tightening up the visa, Lark, though. I had all sorts of dramas this time, but you know, you still can get them. It's just they don't have a remote working thing, so I have to sort of go around the houses a bit. But I might be able to do something about it because I set up another company, not another business. Another company. It's pointless trying to explain why because it's boring, but that might be able to make me be able to do it in a better way next time. Before we move on to the clips, I haven't forgotten about Wivnal and I, by the way. Hello, Cat Squatch. Good Lord, how many channels has he had? Look. My Roman numerals run out at 4, so you'll have to fill us in, Cat Squatch. What ones am I missing as well? I don't remember. I didn't see enough 2s. Doc Shelley's 2 years off the skag. It weren't skag, but you know, opiates. Or maybe I just haven't got down that far yet. Or maybe people thought it was 1. I don't know. Nice one, Planet X. Aprasha Kananutu. Hello, Billy. Hello, Mark. Mrs. Me in it. Right. I'll do the thumbnail first, then I'll do your box, and then I'll do your movie. Right. So here we go. First call of the day. It's a bit of a bad cutout job. Who can name this lady? Who can name today's thumbnail lady? Can anyone do today's? Excuse me. Hello, Toffee. Hello, Toady. Who is today's thumbnail lady? It is gonna. Hello, Jonas Duazaponis. Rags reckons this is X. Mark reckons it's a bloke. Good Lord, I can assure you it ain't. It ain't Miss Marsh, no. It certainly ain't Van Outen. I'm surprised. Leslie Judd. It's not Carmen. It's not Bardo. John, you think everyone's a bloke? I mean, come on. I'll tell you what, she's an absolute hottie. I'll find another picture of her. And I had quite the thing for her once. Quite the obsession for this particular lady. Let me see if I can. I mean, what incredible bone structure she's got. But all the pictures are very, very tiny, which is a bit of a shame. Beautiful woman. Yeah, I'll show you a picture of her from the 80s when I first met her. I mean, met her. I certainly got to know her. Look at that. Isn't that the full 80s on that? Look at the barnet. Anyone guessed yet? It's not Joe guessed. You know what, ugly truth? Anyone who says they wouldn't tap is lying. I just don't buy it. You know, it's not Caprice, no. Hello, Rusky. Good to see you, fat. It's not Pam Anderson's cousin. It's not Carol Vorderman. I'm surprised no one knows. I mean, maybe I find it bizarre when people say not my type. I mean, you know, I just don't understand that. Let me see if I can grab another picture. I think she's just beautiful. What? I think she's just incredibly beautiful. I mean, she's quite a well-built lady. Yeah, I'll give you one more. I mean, they all kind of look the same, though. You wouldn't fuck that, you fucking liars. If you've got you got problems if you wouldn't have sex with that. I just don't. Some fake slag. What an awful thing to say about a really nice woman, and she's really cool as well. God's cosmic bollock reckons it's David Plunkett. Otto likes the girl next door type. That's fair enough. I don't. I really don't. I like the girl next whore type. And that's fair enough. Emma likes the freckles on her chest. Yeah, I could go that. Oh, Vincent has nailed it. Vincent has absolutely nailed it. I know, Bill, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. I mean, okay, she might not be your favourite. She might not be your type, but no, you've got problems with your penis if you... No, just not a chance. Yes, it's Taylor Wayne, 90s and 80s pornographic actress. And I'll tell you what, she rocked up in this film when I used to watch pornography. And there was no sex in it. It was one of those weird, her and this other bird just in very erotic outfits, just talking really strange stuff and like bursting balloons to make the other one scream. I've said too much, but yes, it's Taylor Wayne. Good call, Vincent. Yeah, she's quite something. People saying looks fake. Well, you know what isn't fake? A woman who isn't fake has got hair down to her legs. She's got dirty, long, thick undernails. She's got hairy armpits. I mean, where do you draw the line? It's all right, though. Each to their own. Each to their own. Right, let's see if we can find this. I remember when Withnell and I came out and we watched it round at my mate's house. Now, I'll be honest about Withnell and I. When it first came out, I was 18. I was at Maidstone Art School. And, you know, everyone had been talking about it. You know, we all knew the story behind it when they were squatting and they kicked the wall down and all the little funny stories. But I don't think it survived the test of time, to be honest with you. And that doesn't make it a bad film. You know, a lot of films are very much of their time. And, you know, if you take them away from that time, why would they necessarily survive it? So I'm not saying that that takes anything away from it, but I remember I went back to it about 4 or 5 years ago and thought, oh, I'll watch With Now and I again. And I didn't last it, didn't survive it. Got about a third of the way into it and thought, yeah. And, you know, not only is it a different time, but I'm a different person. You know, I'm not so amused by a bloke ordering a couple of quadruple whiskies. You know, that's not that funny anymore. But still a decent time. And here is the Hamlet soliloquy from the end. So just to give you a bit of context, if you don't know, the film is about two failed actors. They've left their student days and they've gone out into the big world to become actors. And they're kind of dysfunctional. They don't know how to feed themselves. They can't afford to keep themselves warm. They go to stay with one of his gay uncles in the countryside, and all manner of weird things happen. And then right at the end, one of them gets a job as an actor, and the other one's sort of happy for him, stroke really gutted, because A, it's not him that's got this acting job, and two, he's going to lose him. You know, the bloke's off to, you know, lead his life, and he's left behind just a skin alcoholic. And it's quite sad, actually, because I certainly can identify with that with mates at university who I thought I'd be mates with forever, and you just those moments where you realise you're just not as tight as you once were, and it can be quite painful. And I think we can all understand a bit of that. So here we go. This is the final scene of the movie. It won't, hello Woodlander, it won't ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it. This ending, it's not really a hero's journey kind of movie, so this won't take anything away from the film. Here we go. If you could let me know you could hear it.
I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. And indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame the earth seems to me a sterile promontory.
It's a most excellent canopy, the air. Look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why it appeareth nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, how like an angel in apprehension, how like a god! The beauty of the world, paragon of animals. Yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor women neither. No women neither.
Actually brought back a few chills watching that. It's quite interesting because Richard E. Grant's character there, which I think is Withnail, it's hard to work out it's called Withnail and I, but someone might be able to correct me on that. But his character is based on Lord Dundas. Lord Dundas, of course. I've played you the song before. Let's just quickly show you that again. Remember this song that was also used for a petrol advert. So this bloke, who's Lord Dundas, is actually who Richard E. Grant's character was based on. He was a friend of Bruce. Is it Robinson or Dickinson? I always forget. One of them's Iron Maiden. One of them wrote with Nell and I. But they were mates, and he based him on this fella here. It's an absolutely banging tune. If the musicians among you, check it out. It's I think it's in the chorus. It does 2 bars of 4 and then 1 weird little bar of 2. Check it. Sorry to ruin it, but listen to that. That's a Fender Rhodes, isn't it? If someone can confirm that, that's a Fender Rhodes without a doubt. This is way too early for it to be a synth. It's a Fender Rhodes. That.
When I wake up in the morning light, I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on.
Yeah, that's that little 2 bar. Listen to it. When he goes, that's a 2 bar. I'll take it back a bit, and you'll hear it.
Pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. It's the weekend, and I know that you're free. So pull on your jeans and come on out with me. I need to have you near me. I need to feel you close to me. I need to have you.
Now, Snoopy, it's funny that you say gay because Lord Dundas here actually wanked off my NA sponsor at the school dinner hall through his pocket. So, yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It was a ridiculous thing to say. I was just thinking the Moogs came out in like the 60s, didn't they? Yeah, ridiculous thing to say. Yeah, I think it is a Fender Rhodes. It's a lovely sound, isn't it? What? Just you buy a Fender Rhodes and you're kind of limited to that one sound. It's not, hasn't got a lot of variety of tone, and yet I think it's a testament to the quality of that tone that you're still over the moon because it sounds lovely. I mean, you play too many notes and it starts distorting a little bit, but wonderful bit of kit. Let's have a listen to one. Here we go. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, I haven't watched this video. We'll just check out a little bit of Fender Rhodes. Apologies. I hope you play something funky and not something stupid. I mean, look at it. You ain't got a lot of dials on it, have you? What will that be? Vibrato and sustain, maybe? Anyone got a Fender Rhodes? Be able to tell me? Gorgeous. Now, it doesn't always have to sound like that. I think Jan Hammer uses one in red and orange. I think this is a Fender Rhodes, but check this out. Even if it ain't, it's fucking smashing. Fucking hell, man. Just incredible. What a band. What a band. I mean, what a load of bands come out of that era. The Mahavishnu Orchestra, Weather Report. Good God. You know, I remember when I was a young man, and you knew Jan Hammer from the Miami Vice theme tune, Crockett's theme. Remember? It was in the charts. And then you get a bit older. I remember the first time someone played me that Red and Orange, and I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, we'll just go one more step in that direction. Hang on. Check this out. Birds of Fire, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Billy Cobham on drums, John McLaughlin on guitar, Jan Hammer on keyboards, Shakti, I think, what's his name, on 5-string violin. I can't think who plays. I think the bass might be Jan Hammer on the keys. Anyway, listen to this. Beautiful. Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire. Title track from the album Birds of Fire. Wait till the violin comes in. Smashing. And this is a time signature nightmare. This is like scanning. They're all scanning different time signatures and coming in all over the shop. Musicians all know what I'm talking about. Try and keep an eye. Try and keep a graph. When I'm counting time signatures, I do the Indian tabla method. So you use the breaks in your finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can just keep going round. So like take 5, ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try and keep up with some of these. Pick your instrument because they're all different. Check it. I've just thought you can't hear it, can you? I'm just listening to it. It's all right. It was only the intro. I'll do it so that you can hear it. Here we go. When Billy Cobham comes in on those drums. Jesus Christ, man. Just beautiful. Amazing. If you haven't checked out Mahavishnu Orchestra, start with that one, Birds of Fire. It's just cracking. Right, where are we with I haven't had any more movies. Good call, Mark. Good call. Is that, yeah, those symbols were absolutely smashing, weren't they? I don't think we've had... Oh, Lindsay's come in. Greatest movie scene. Thank you for passing my message on to Mrs. Me in it. Blessed all the scrubs. Morocco for the win. Love all around. Lindsay. Nice one, Lindsay. Yeah, Lindsay's even sent a link. It's 5 minutes, though, Lindsay. I'm not going to be able to get away with 5 minutes. So do you want the last bit or the first bit? I'll go with the last bit. We'll try the last couple of minutes. Unfortunately, otherwise it's an obvious... this is going to be tricky because there's a load of dialogue as well. All right, we'll take it from the top and we'll just have a couple of minutes. So this is Lindsay's. The movie is The Seventh Seal, and it's the confession to death scene. Okay, it's Ingmar Bergman's movie. Right, here we go. It's only a film, Ingmar. You know that quote, Lindsay? Is it only a film or is it only a movie? It's only a movie, Ingmar. Looks gorgeous. Look at it. Look at that. Like a painting.
Jag vill bikta mig så uppriktigt jag kan. Men mitt hjärta är tomt. Och tomheten är en spegel vänd mot mitt eget ansikte. Jag ser mig själv. Grips av vedervilja och skräck. Genom min likgiltighet för människorna har jag ställts utanför deras gemenskap. Numera lever jag i en spökvärld, innesluten i mina drömmar och fantasier.
Och trots det vill du inte dö?
Jo, jag vill.
Vad väntar du på?
Jag vill ha vetskap.
Du vill ha garanti?
Kalla det vad du vill. Är det så grymt otänkbart att fatta Gud med sina sinnen? Varför ska han gömma sig i en dunstkrets av halvuttalade löften och osedda under? Hur ska vi kunna tro på de troende när vi inte tror själva? Vad blir det av oss som vill tro men inte kan? Och vad blir det av dem som varken vill?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop it there because that's pushing 2 minutes and that will screw me up. Good call, though. Good call, Lindsay. I haven't seen it. But I do like Bergman. It reminds me of Lindsay or anyone. Do you know what's his name? How do you say it? Jodorowsky. Alejandro Jodorowsky's Santa Sangria. It's magic realism. More, it's like a magic realism version of what I just saw there. Yeah, we'll check a bit of it out. This is Alejandro Jodorowsky's Santa Sangria, one of the best movies I've ever seen. Hello, Ian, nice to see you. If you're interested in the relationships between son and father, which I am, it's been a theme of my life, and it's a theme of most men's lives. Santa Sangria, the symbolic exchange and emotional relationships between making movies and fathers and sons and family, but mainly fathers and sons. Santa Sangria is a fucking feast. It's a difficult watch. You have to put the work in. But here's a little bit of Santa Sangria. Good call, though, Lindsay. Let's have a look at Santa Sangria. Alejandro Jodorowsky. I'm sure you've seen this, Lindsay. I'll be very surprised if you haven't.
This is paint. It's holy blood.
My mother says he killed a woman in America.
No, don't ask me to. I'm not asking you.
That woman in the foreground, she's had her arms cut off. That's why he plays her arms. It's a fucking fantastic film. Santa Sangria, I totally recommend it. It ain't going to be for everyone because no film is. Right, what else? There was someone else put a movie in. Oh, no, without a doubt, Jared. That's why those movies that get it right really touch you, because they give you a way of articulating relationships and emotions that you haven't previously been able to articulate. You know, that's what film is incredible at. But, you know, get it right and you change lives. Get it wrong and it's just very embarrassing. I saw something that what did I say? I don't know if I'll be able to find that exact scene. Let's have a look. Maybe I've found the scene you're after. We'll give it a go. I can only do a couple of minutes, so you might miss the bit you're after, which is a bit of a waste, but we'll give it a go. So this is Otto's. This is from Alan Moore's Watchmen. Obviously, he didn't make the film. I can't remember who directed it. What's his name? Not a great director. I think they've done a pretty bad job of the movie, to be honest with you, but I think, that's the one, Plot Loser. I'll do that one next. I know the exact scene as well. Sorry, people. I forgot to put the freaking audio on. Here we go. Otto, I hope I've got the right scene, but one scene is better than none.
That's how you want to do it?
There's no need for violence.
Oh, this is getting heavy.
love working on American soil, Dan.
He's an awful. Yeah, I'm with you, John. He's an awful piece of work, the comedian, though, isn't he? But while we're there, I think it's only fair that we see this scene. You're not in here with me. I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me. Maybe get it right. Here we go. So if you don't know, Rorschach he's got no superpowers. Most of the Watchmen haven't. He's just a very traumatized child who turned into a sociopath and wants to rid the streets of filth and degeneracy. And in fairness, does a pretty good job of it. Out of all of them, he kind of sorts it out, but there's no winning against Veet, is there? Here we go.
Hey, Rorschach. Hey, you're pretty famous, right? You know what? I'm pretty famous too. Ain't that right? That's right. You know, maybe I can give you an autograph, huh? What you say, big boy?
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
You gotta love it. You have gotta love it. Right. American Psycho, movie made from the Bret Easton Ellis book of the same title, American Psycho. Little bit of background. American Psycho is about the 80s man. It's about the atomized, pleasure-seeking psychopath who has got no empathy, no compassion for others, but puts on a very good display to allow himself to get through the world. But the only way he can actually feel anything, and this is the case with most psychopaths, if not all, the only way he can actually feel anything, having no compassion or empathy, is to hurt people. That's the only way he can feel. Because psychopaths protect themselves against pain and further trauma. The fuck? Rex? I've been yeeted, have I? All right, I'll be back in a minute. Nice one, mate. Cheers, Rags. Tell people to hold tight, can you? Cheers, man. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Oh, I'm back, am I? I'm back. Cat Squatch says, these are entertainment films, bread and circuses, not art. What, Alejandro Jodorowsky? Santa Sangria? I don't know about that. I think they're all movies. which all have a function. It is all right to be entertained occasionally. You know, I think Bret Easton Ellis, the story of American Psycho, is an incredible critique on American culture of the 80s and where we are now. It was so prescient. So what? Because it's not art. What do you want me to play? Man Bites Dog? You know what? Tell me an art film, Cat Squatch. Doesn't really make any sense. I didn't promise art movies. It's just a film. It's movies. I mean, we can watch Ivan's Childhood and Solaris if you want. Yeah, but that's because you don't like it. But Otto asked for it. You know, ask for something and I'll play it. You know, it seems like a bit of a strange thing to say that they're not art films. I mean, okay, we haven't finished the stream yet, so maybe some lost in translation. You're taking the piss, surely. Are you saying what you said was lost in translation, or are you talking about the movie Lost in Translation? Packers off to the pub. See you later, mate. Is your missus going, or is she gonna enjoy the rest of the stream? Take care, mate. Have a good one. Don't drink too much. Eraserhead is a terrible film. I'm with you on that. Very, very boring film. I remember it went around my school. Oh, you've got to see Eraserhead, and no one had actually watched it. And then when you do watch it, it's just. So Cat Squatch reckons that Lost in Translation is an art movie. Okay, each to their own. Right, so this is the scene when our man, Patrick Bateman, played brilliantly by, what's his fucking name? You'll recognise him as soon as you see him. I can remember the character name, but not the actor. He picks up a couple of prostitutes. Let's go. Let's see if we can not get yeeted. I might have to take them down to a minute 20 or something. But it's such a good scene that just his approach to his environment and the people in it and his own relationship with his things, like Christian Bale, that's it. Like he loves his Phil Collins. He doesn't. He's got no interest in Phil Collins. It's just that Phil Collins was popular in the 80s. And so as a psychopath, he uses it as a symbol of normality. And that's what his whole life is. But, so let's have a look at this. I can't remember who suggested it now. Anyway, check it.
Do you like Phil Collins? I've been a big Genesis fan ever since the release of their 1980 album, Duke. Before that, I really didn't understand any of their work. It was too artsy, too intellectual. It was on Duke where Phil Collins' presence became more apparent. I think Invisible Touch is the group's undisputed masterpiece. It's an epic meditation on intangibility. At the same time, it deepens and enriches the meaning of the preceding three albums. Kirsty, take off the robe. Listen to the brilliant ensemble playing of Banks, Collins, and Rutherford. You can practically hear every nuance of every instrument. Sabrina, remove your dress. In terms of lyrical craftsmanship, sheer songwriting, this album hits a new peak of professionalism. Sabrina, why don't you dance a little? Take the lyrics to Land of Confusion. In this song, Phil Collins addresses the problems of abusive political authority. In Too Deep is the most moving pop song of the 1980s about monogamy and commitment. The song is extremely uplifting.
as much as I'd have liked to have let that scene play out, I'd have probably got a strike for what comes next. Oh, hang on. I've gone again, have I? Oh, God. Have I gone? Am I going to get a phone call from Rags? I still can't work out. It would appear, have I gone? Let me ring Rags and ask him. Can't get through to him. Am I back yet? Well, I still don't know if I'm back. Take it on back. Am I back? I still don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm back. So 42, what? If I get another one, do I actually get a strike? Is that an actual thing? Let me see. What? If you see, oh, for Christ's sake, I don't know how you do it. All right, hang on. I don't want to risk that. I can't be doing another strike. I've only just got back. Right, I'm going to just have to play less parts of the movies. Rags, which one of these are you talking about, mate? Which scene here? Man on Fire, Creasy tortures Jorge. It's that one, isn't it? We've had it before on this channel. Unfortunately, it's 5 minutes. So I'm just trying to think. We'll have to probably play from about there. I just want to see 42, Danesfield. We went through this before. Yeah, I thought we did. Third time is a strike, apparently. I don't know about that because I've done it before. Let me just check it out because I don't want to... sorry, people, but I don't want to get banned the day I come back streaming. Right. Here we go. Copyright issues with live streams. All live streams are scanned for matches to third-party content. When third-party content is identified, a placeholder image may replace your live stream. You'll be warned to stop streaming the third-party content. If you comply with this warning and address the issues, your stream can continue. If the third-party content remains in your stream, your live stream will be temporarily interrupted or terminated. Your stream can also be terminated if you get a copyright or community guidelines strike. Live stream, blah, blah, blah. No, that wasn't helpful. I'm not sure, 42. I'm not for. But people, if you can sign up to my Rumble account, link in the description, we can do more streams like this where we don't have to worry about all this nonsense. Let's try a little bit of Rags's one. Rags said, I've got your one, Raymond, as well, and yours, Bill. But this is what Rag says. Man on fire scene. Off to the next life for you, my friend. I guarantee you won't be lonely. It's a long clip, but we'll just play the last bit of it. If I get a strike, I think I'll be in trouble. Plot loser. Yeah, I did do it on Twitch, but only about 30 people went over there. This is a common problem on YouTube. Like, I was listening to Stephen Crowder today talking about it, and he was saying, you know, if you could all just move over to Rumble, we can abandon YouTube. He said, but, you know, we don't. He said, I get sort of like 50,000 people watching YouTube live, and Rumble's on about 500. And it's very clever what YouTube have done. You know, YouTube have sunk themselves into our heads. You know, even I do it. I will watch things on YouTube that I know are available on other platforms. It's because they've sort of, you know, they've absorbed us into their network. You know, I know all the channels I subscribe to. I need to keep my algorithm going. And if you start streaming elsewhere, blah, blah, blah. But I reckon if we can get a couple of hundred people on Rumble on the regular, I will still stream on YouTube, but it won't be such a problem. I mean, you used to be able to use clips on YouTube. They just stopped it. I mean, the one that absolutely blows my mind. I'm on Getter, hoax. I'm on Getter. What does me is you can't even play trailers. I mean, what a great stream if you could do a movie stream. Everyone mentions their favorite movie or interesting movie, and you play the trailer because the trailer's an advert. But you get copyright claims for playing them. Why wouldn't they want you playing their trailer? Why wouldn't? It's a fucking advert. You're advertising their movie. Makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, we'll see if we can get away with a minute of this. With audio. Yeah, Salty Cracker's quite interesting. What he does is he does his first hour live stream on YouTube, and then he says, right, you've got to go over to Odyssey or Rumble to watch the rest of it. But even so, he loses about 2/3 of his viewers. It's quite peculiar how YouTube have done it. Willow says, don't risk it. I'll try a little bit. I've got to.
What the annis?
¿Sabes?
No sé, güey. No sé.
Tendremos resultados. ¡No me cortes,
Trabaja en un rey de mesas. Tiene un lunar en la cara del lado izquierdo muy grandote y le dicen el cenicero o el carnicero. Ya.
¿De la remendad?
Sí.
Sí, ok.
Okay. Well,
Wait. Give me one cigarette, please, eh?
Sí.
Okay.
Bueno. Okay, my friend. So off to the next life for you. I guarantee you won't be lonely.
There you go. Am I still here? Right. Billy, nice one, Bill, for that Lady Godiva. Rorschach and the comedian shouldn't resonate so much with me, should they? Oh yeah, because they're attractive characters. What they give you, they allow you to live out that fantasy of not putting up with any shit. That's what characters like that do. When we watched Star Wars as a kid, who did you want to be, Luke Skywalker, or did you want to be Boba Fett, the assassin, or Darth Vader? The good guys in movies aren't good guys. That's why spaghetti westerns were so popular, because they were all murderers. So look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. They kill people for jobs. Oh my God, I've gone. Wow. Let me know when I'm back. I'm just having... $1:37. Well, that was hours ago. Well, if I come back... I'm back. Well, I'm hoping that's not a strike then. I didn't think it was. You don't get strikes for copyright violations like that. But there'll be no more films. Where are we? Hour and a half. It wasn't your comment, Bill, but did you hear my answer? Raymond Piper said Hungarian filmmaker Bela Tar has a film 7 hours long, The Turin Horse. Art and film at its peak. Never heard of it or him. I think I have heard of Bela Tar, actually. Or am I thinking of the UFC light Bellator? You're all right, Al. Not a problem. Well, that's a terrible shame, because I obviously I'm not going to risk it anymore. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have a look in my history. I've got Dan the Iconoclast coming on next week. We haven't got the days sorted out yet, but I've put together a load of videos, and they're not copyright videos. They're not films and things. They're, home videos. Is that still a thing? Do you say that? So we will be able to watch them. But if you haven't watched my latest Dragon's Den video, check that out after this. But people, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. Now I am going to risk this. I'm hoping I'll get away. I'm going to play 30 seconds of it. David Earl is a comedian, and his character is Brian Gittins. Now, I've been on the Brian Gittins podcast a couple of times. I know David Earl. We're not best mates, but I know him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been on his podcast a couple of times. And, mate, he's got what it takes, old Paddy the Baddie. I think he could do it. He could do it. But he does need he needs a big loss, because that arrogance isn't helping him. He needs to know what it's like to get knocked down and stay down and realize that your career is on the line. You know, he's no Mike Tyson. He's not going to dominate the sport for a decade. I think he needs a real bad loss. And I know that sounds cuntish, but that is usually what makes or breaks a fighter. And I'm not sure. Paul Salmon said, no, are you talking about? Not me. Am I still here? Oh, you mean Mr. Wonderful? He's an arsehole anyway. Those blokes on Dragon's Den US, they're not the most trustworthy businessmen. You know, they've both. There's Mr. Wonderful, and then there's the other bloke whose name I can't remember. They've had plenty of very dodgy dealings in the past. But David Earl has made a move. If you ever listen to Brian Gittins' podcast, he had a character on there called Charles. I can never say it. Perkescu or something like that. Perkescu. But they made a movie. Rupert Magendie was given a load of money to produce a film. What? And I am going to risk a little bit of it. I watched this movie last night. Don't get it off of Pirate Bay because it's on there, but you shouldn't support illegal downloads on Pirate Bay by typing in Brian and Charles, which is what the movie's called. I'm going to risk a little bit of this trailer. I really recommend it. It's a beautiful little movie. Beautiful little independent movie with David Earl in the main role on screen now as Brian Gittins. Let's try 30 seconds.
I never thought I'd make anything as amazing as Charles. You built my body. I built his body. My name's Brian. This is my infamous inventions pantry. It's actually a cowshed. Things went a bit topsy-turvy in my life and I was very alone. Fiddlesticks. That's when I just started making stuff. Any little idea I had, I just made. It's an egg bell, pinecone bag, flying cougar cock. So whenever anyone in the village wants to know the time, they can look up in the air and I'll...
There you go. That's all I can risk. It's called Brian and Charles, and it's a really lovely movie. Anyone seen it? That's it, Charles Protescu. I still can't say it even when you write it, but you must know it from the podcast. And he used to come on and go, "Hello, Brian. Yes, I am good." But the way they turned it into a movie and used him as a character, it's quite heartbreaking. It caused me a couple of tears, I have to say. RP didn't get a VAR. We'll have to give you a mega VAR. Check it. I hope that helped. Billy says, "Can you read and reply to the last comment again?" The strike came in right as you started reading. You got to the comedian, then it cut off. Now I'm very curious what your snarky reply was. It wasn't snarky. What I said, you said Rorschach and the comedian shouldn't resonate so much with me, should they? And I said, no, the reason they do resonate with you and many people is because they allow us to live out our fantasies of not giving a shit. They allow us to live out our fantasies of just smashing people to pieces, which is something we don't do in society because there's laws and there's social mores and there's public and private institutions and all those other things. But when you see someone like Rorschach who's had an hideous life and who's just turned all that hate and anger and bitterness and resentment into revenge, you know, you can kind of, you get into it, didn't you? You get into it. And I said, like, when you watch Star Wars as a kid, you know, you don't really want to be Luke Skywalker, do you? You want to be Boba Fett, an assassin. You know, when I watched Superman, I wanted to be Lex Luthor, mainly because he was with Pamela Stevenson. Pamela Stevenson was hot as hell. Do you remember Pamela Stevenson in Not the 9 O'Clock News? Good gosh. But yeah, I definitely I'm going to literally just name a film and get banned. Right, anyway, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that there. I'm going to press that button. I'm going to go there. Don't forget, link to what's that? Where's that gone? Link to my Rumble account, and if we can start getting some numbers at Rumble, I'll do a YouTube stream, and then I'll do what Salty Cracker does. Halfway through, we'll all jump over onto Rumble, and then we can watch clips and we can play bits of music and we can have more in-depth conversations and see more material, and it'll be better for all of us. And you know, maybe over the next year or two, we might be able to completely leave YouTube. And you know, I don't really like them, but they are at the moment the best. But Rumble seems to be picking itself up. So without your help, without you signing up to Rumble, my name on Rumble is Chris Dangerfield. Someone's already got Dangerfield. No subscribers, no videos, no way for me to contact him. I tried to. I'll offer him a couple of quid for the channel name. It might even be me, but I ran all my emails through it. I've got about 10 email accounts. I run them all through it, and I didn't get sent a new password, so it's probably not me. But the link to my Rumble account is down there, as is my Substack. What was I going to say? Nice to be back. Sorry it was a bit interrupted, and I am a bit COVID up. So there you go. But thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to Rags and the boy Cray for looking after the place. And most of all, thanks to all of you lot for keep coming back here. I will be streaming again. I might tomorrow. The girlfriend's away for 10 days. I have spoke to my editor. I think I'm going to trust him to finish my novel. So I'm going to spend a few days just tweaking a few bits. There's a whole section he wants me to take out. He says it's just too much of a political hot potato. Now you might think, well, hang on, you're publishing it on Amazon. Why worry about that? Well, because Amazon won't promote it. There's certain things you say that if Amazon get wind of, they won't. Your book will disappear. Listen to this. My novel is about a man getting clean. It's not really about that, but that's the sort of timeline. But if you put a syringe on the cover, Amazon won't promote your book. A fucking syringe. Not a spike, just a plastic syringe. So I was talking to another designer about maybe just a spoon. And he said, well, unless it's really clean and shiny, you know, if it's a cooking up spoon, they won't promote you. They've got people who look at that stuff and they don't want it on their website. And it's cuntish. And I'm also thinking of changing the name to Mu Kappa Delta, which I know doesn't run off the tongue so well. Ludwig's just dropped a 10 spot. That's very kind of you, Ludwig. Where's that? Ludwig says, use the tube to advertise an up-and-coming Rumble stream, innit? Have some pre-Xmas grift. Love to the scrubs. Nice one, Ludwig. Well, I think what I'll do is... thank you, Ludwig, for that tenner. Much appreciated, mate. I think I'll do what Salty Cracker does. I'll start the stream here, do an hour, and then at the hour mark say, right, I'm carrying on over on Rumble. And it'll already be running on Rumble. That's what Salty Cracker does. And then I just quit YouTube and carry on Rumble. So if you want to see the rest of it, you just have to go to Rumble. So you click the link in the description. And it seems to work for him. He gets thousands of people watching him on Rumble. So I will do that. I answered your questions, Bill. I answered it. Oh, Mr. Salmon says that's the second film about Brian and Charles. There was one a year ago. No, that film's about 3 years old, Paul. That's not a new movie. That one I just showed you. Yeah, I'll tell you when it was. Hang on. It's definitely worth watching, though. Hang on. Oh, hang on a minute. 2022. Oh, so there's been another one, has there? They made another. Oh, how interesting. That doesn't seem to make sense, though, because I'm getting all confused and it's not much entertainment for you lot, is it? Right, nice to see you all. I'll probably see you tomorrow. King Corona says you might be able to get the Rumble password reset email if it's your account in a day or two. Rumble emails are slow as F. No, yeah, I put the email in and pressed it and said that there's no account with that email. So then I've done another email. No, then another one. No, then another one. No. There's a couple of really outsiders that I might still try. I kind of imagine it's the sort of thing I'd do, set up an account and forget about it. But the one I've got at the moment is Chris Dangerfield. It doesn't matter too much, but it would be nice just to be Dangerfield like this one for continuity reasons. Anyway, look after yourselves, people. Here's a bit of music you all know and love. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming. It's been a real pleasure. I'm shattered. 2:15, though, I will get to watch a movie without getting yeeted. If you can still do that. Here's Alex. Ta-da!
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murder scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. You're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green-looking skin and they run around screaming.
Hello, John.
We want to eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man.
Hello, humans.
She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly.
Did I say hello to you, Charlie?
Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Cheers, Albert. Machano Kuprashanata Tuta.
Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My
Send
spirit
some
gets
streaming
close to
later.
that
Hello,
evil
it's a
and I
duck.
feel it go. We're such self-centered
Hello, Chris.
that we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of
Hang on. I forgot to mention the thing about Mrs. Minute. I'm not going to do it now, Mrs. Minute, because there's only 60 people watching, and I wanna tell that story when there's plenty of people in here. I will not forget. Sorry, love, I'm not firing on all cylinders.
The fair was happening. I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son.
Hello, DJ.
We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, that's
Hello,
so
Baz. Hello,
oh, that's so
Daffy.
sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
So was I. It's weird how it works. Anglo said he can't get on Rumble. I don't know why. The link in the description to this video should get you there. And if that doesn't, just go to rumble.com and search Chris Dangerfield and make sure you set it to channel, not video. Yeah, you're a little bit late there, Rockhopper. Nice to see you. Take care, people. Hi, I'm losing my voice.